What's up, everybody? This is the Unstuck Podcast, and I'm your host, Drew Koss. And today we're going to answer a question. How do I make content in a saturated market? So let's just jump right into this one. Every market is saturated. So there is no market you could almost go into that's not saturated, that's probably worth it. And when I say worth it, is worth you spending tons of time, money, and energy into that field. You can always create your own lane, so to say, or a new field, but the chances are that it's going to do very well as a business might be very slim. So I'll give you a lot of tips and alternatives you can think about when it comes to creating content in a saturated market. The first thing is, I always use the bread analogy, right? If you go to a grocery store, there are tons of breads and types of bread in the aisle, and then there's bread in like freezers. So there's all types of it. It's all going to be based on what someone likes. Like, I like potato bread. People like rye bread. People like Ezekiel bread. People like Alvarado bread. So there are tons of breads because there are tons of people with different taste buds. Yes, it all falls in the category of bread, but the little differences does make a difference, right? Alvarado bread, it's sprouted grains, tastes completely different than Ezekiel bread, which is sprouted grains that taste like cardboard. Sorry, I'm not sponsored with either, so let's keep going. With that being said, I do say try these things to carve out somewhat your lane, or to show up a little bit differently, right? I'm a content creator. Actually, I'm a content coach that knows how to create, but I'm a content coach. Before that, mainly I was a fitness coach, and I'll show you by example how I carved out my lane. So I was a fitness coach. I wanted to teach strength and conditioning. I thought that was going to be the thing that I did forever. And I realized quickly this market is oversaturated. I realized quickly that, all honesty, there's not a lot more new movements you're going to be showing people that they actually need, right? Even with CrossFit coming out and that becoming a popular thing, a lot of the movements weren't needed. They were cool, but they weren't needed. So I started thinking, if a lot of these movements aren't needed and 90% of my clients don't use them or will never use them, I could do this a little bit differently. So I started to pick up fitness boxing. I started to teach how to box, except getting in the ring, to regular people, moms, dads, soccer moms, grandmothers, pastors, whoever wanted to just have that feeling of feeling like they're in the ring without getting in the ring. I was like, that's my client. And I went that route and carved my lane. Now, when it comes to content, the way I did it and the way you could adopt if you would like to also is I kept putting out stuff about the clients. I had their permission. So I would praise my clients publicly all the time. All right. I would show their wins. I would show their successes. And for me, I would just I'm the guide. The star of the show is them. I'm just a guide. With doing that, it allowed people to understand who I was, and it allowed people to understand that they're coming for a different reason. When you did come, you figured out, yes, I was boxing and things like that, but you quickly start to figure out that it's a little bit more happening than that. It feels like it's almost like some life coaching happening as well, and that did happen. So I made content and I praised my customers versus my product. And people wanted the product because they saw what it was doing for the person. I made it all about the client experience. So that's a tip. Make it so much about the client experience that you don't really have to fight against anybody else, because most people are not making it about their client experience. They're making it about the features of their product. The second thing I did, and I still do to this day, is with my content. It'll feel like it'll sound or feel crazy, but I'm posting almost 2 to 3 times a day. And how I'm able to do that now is I literally do a podcast, at least 10-minute podcast, 5 times a week. And with that, I can get a lot of smaller clips out of that. So by doing that, anybody who's competing with me, I mean, I would always rather collaborations, but anybody who's competing with me, I'd say I'm going to drown you out just by content, right? I know content's king. I know people are going to, when they look at my page or they look at how they want to interact with me, they're going to go to my content, and my paid clients go to my free content. So having a lot of that gives them like a library to just go ahead and learn and grow. And it's valuable information. I'm not making content just to say I did it. It's information that they can actually grow from. I learned this from Myron Golden. Don't ever put out content that you couldn't package in a paid program. Make it that good. Learned that from Alex Hormozy. Make your content so good. Make your free content so good that is better than what people actually charge people for. So just the content in general, and the content side came from and comes from answering real questions that they have about my product or service. For a fitness coach, I used to always see fitness coaches do this, and still do to this day, and to each his own. They would go and spend hours creating content about stuff that they want to talk about. And it's usually stuff they want to talk about when it comes to impressing their colleagues. And here I am. I'm like, I don't want to impress my colleagues. My colleagues don't pay me. I actually want to impress the people who pay me, which is my clients. So me answering their questions and me going over things that they need answers to is going to be much better. And with doing that over the years, that's really how I got known a lot in the fitness field. I wasn't the smartest. I'm still not the smartest. I wasn't even I wasn't the best dressed. I wasn't, I didn't have any secret power. It was just, I knew most coaches would never do videos. So I capitalized on, they're not going to do videos, and I'm going to make myself comfortable in front of a camera and on a mic. I knew most coaches didn't care about the client experience because they wanted to impress their colleagues. So I was like, I'm going to make mine all about what I like, is getting my clients results. The third one now that I teach, now that I've been a content coach and I teach other people this, is if you want to carve out your own lane, make sure you're a personal brand, right? People cannot steal your personal story, but they can just steal your idea that you got from somebody else. So if you're a personal brand, the cool part with that is you get to talk about your own experiences that helped you get to where you're at. You get to talk about how you failed, how you succeeded, what you read, how you invest. And once people know that you're a personal brand, they want to do business with you. People want to do business with people who they like, love, and trust. So when I tell businesses, yes, you can have a content coach or a content creator or somebody who does social media for you, but you want to get your face in there somehow. And people knock this. I don't want to fight that, but I tell people all the time, if people just see just quotes and stuff like that, they're not going to just gravitate towards you. But if you're a personal brand and you show your face once or twice a week, you let them hear your voice, people all of a sudden feel like they want to identify with you. They want to grow with you, and they want to do business with you. With those 3 tips alone, like showing the client experience, number 2, volume of content. Of course, you want quality, but quality sometimes comes from quantity at first. And then number 3, the third one, be a personal brand. Show people who you are. Show the behind the scenes. I've shown the behind the scenes of so much stuff, and I still do to this day, that you feel like you're on a journey with me. And I want that in case I switch lanes, or I just want you to know that this is a human being running this thing, right? And it's perfectly fine for you to realize and understand you can be personal with your brand. People are going to say different, which is okay. This is just my experience and how I teach my clients and how I would teach anybody who asked me to help them. Number 1, show the client experience. Ask your clients for permission. Number 2, literally content is king, right? You don't have to go master every platform, but see if you can go on one platform and just put out content. I guarantee you, if I'm putting out 3 pieces of content a day, right, that's 21 pieces of content a week. Most people aren't putting that out a month. I'm going to automatically seem like I'm the expert. I'm going to automatically seem like I care more because I show up more. And for people who are yelling right now, I don't have time to make content. You probably do. You're probably overthinking it. Give me a call. We'll talk about it. But that's my tip. Get unstuck and go be great, guys.